Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak. And welcome to the 6th episode of a very special summer series. They're little micro boosts of self-love, where every Sunday I've been diving deep into bite-sized reflections and actionable steps to help you embrace self-love and intentional living. And today we're going to do a little check-in and redefine your priorities. So grab your favorite drink, find a spot to cozy up on, and let's take 10 minutes to connect with ourselves and the journey ahead. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Can you believe that we're over the halfway point of the year already? Where did 2025 go? Oh my goodness. August is here, and it's the perfect time to pause and ask yourself, how am I feeling about where I'm headed? Now, I know for me personally, I don't always pause and reflect and ask where I'm headed. There's times where I'm just I have a plan. I just keep going towards the plan. But having these pauses and checking in is really good to make sure that, one, you still want to head in the direction you're heading, and two, that you're actually heading in the direction you want to head. And it's just really good to just check in and see how you're doing. The thing is, life moves fast. And sometimes, even without realizing it, we might be chasing goals that no longer align with who we are right now. I've been there, done that, so I know how important it is to do a little check-in from time to time. Now think back to January. Remember those resolutions, maybe dreams or intentions you set for yourself? Maybe you were bursting with excitement to learn a new skill or start a new project, or maybe even focus on your wellness. Now let's take a moment to reflect. I'm going to share with you 3 questions. You can either write them down now or come back to it later, depending on where you're at and how you feel. So number 1, have you made progress towards these goals? Do you even remember what those goals are? Maybe you have to go find them or you wrote them down. Or maybe you didn't write down any at all. And that is okay too, by the way. There's no guilt or shame here. We're just checking in and reaffirming our priorities. So let's get back to it without shame or guilt, by the way. This is summer, easy breezy. We're trying to create more love in your life. But if you don't know where you're going, it's hard to get there. So have you made progress towards these goals? Number 2, does the idea of that goal still light you up inside? And 3, what's been holding you back or pushing you forward? So for instance, I actually had a list, and so I have different areas of goals. I have my business goals, I have my personal goals, and I actually break it down even to more like relationships and things like that. My own health goals and things like that. So I break it down. But for my business, I wrote down in the order of what I wanted to accomplish this year. After having a couple years of not really doing a lot with my business because I wasn't feeling great, I really wanted to focus again because I had so many things I wanted to do and I felt overwhelmed. So I had to make a list to prioritize what I wanted to focus on. And the fun thing is, I only have one more thing left on that list. So it doesn't have to be complicated. You can just write down the things you want to do and you can put it in order. Or maybe you have that list and it's re-looking at your list and making sure that those things on your list are still the things you want to do. That's all it is. It's just checking in because we change and we grow. I have things on lists that I find from years ago that no longer light me up. And that's okay because like I said, we change and grow. And it's just checking in and making sure you're headed in the direction you'd like to go now. It's also okay if your answer feels a little messy. Growth isn't meant to be linear. It's meant to evolve with you. Today, we're giving ourselves permission to refresh our purpose and redefine what success looks like for the rest of the year. But don't sweat it either because it's summer, so chill. But having a little check-in also is a great thing. So here's the magic of a mid-year reflection. It's the opportunity to get intentional about what matters most to you right now. A lot of the time we set our goals in January or December, wherever. I like setting them in September as well, but August is even better because then I can really get into it in September when the kids go back to school. But we set them and it's so busy. For me this year, I barely found time in my busy schedule in December, January to write down my goals. I had to really make it a priority. And then sometimes we cling to goals out of obligation because we've told ourselves we should achieve them. But intentional living, like really living authentically, is about honoring your current energy, your values, and your needs. So let's talk about flexibility. Something I've had a hard time with. Like I said before, I'm a planner and I like to stick to a plan. But the thing is, life happens and it's really important to be flexible. You might have heard the phrase, stick to the plan. But what if the plan isn't serving you anymore? Flexibility doesn't mean giving up. It means adapting and pivoting towards what feels the best to you, what you're most aligned with now. Think of it this way. Imagine you're hiking up a mountain. Halfway through, you realize the trail you chose is rough and doesn't lead to the view you want. Do you keep climbing out of stubbornness? Or do you take a moment to reroute and find a path that feels right? You're putting in all this energy and effort. You might as well make sure that you're on the right path, the one you truly want, the one your heart wants. I had it for years where I knew I was something different. Like I mentioned in another episode, I grew up in Ontario, Canada. And for the longest time, I knew I needed to be by water. I knew what I wanted, but I kept not allowing myself to live those dreams. And I was living other people's ideas of things until eventually I was like, enough is enough. I need to get off this mountain and go climb another one that leads me to the ocean and actual real mountains. So it's okay to pivot and change. It's okay to change constantly. Like I said before, we're always growing and changing. So this is your gentle reminder. You're allowed to reroute. You're allowed to shift your focus. You're allowed to say, this goal served me for a season, but right now my energy is better spent elsewhere. So let's take a deep breath and ask ourselves, what priorities feel most important to me right now? Where do I want to focus my energy for the next month? It's okay if your goals look different than they did in January. Growth comes when we honor the season we're in. Maybe you don't want to hit the ground running so hard. Maybe you want to relax more. Maybe you just want to be present with your loved ones. And that's okay. Slowing down is okay. Or maybe you have a different goal in mind completely, and that's okay too. Maybe after walking through this series this summer, you've really got to know yourself better and your goals are just different because you've grown so much. So it's that time again where we're going to take action. So here's your actionable takeaway for this week. Write down one goal you'd like to focus on this month and create one small action step to get started. So let's look into this a little bit more. Take out your journal, your phone, or even a sticky note, whatever you can find, a napkin, anything, and let's write down this one goal. Maybe it's something new, like I want to prioritize self-care by journaling every morning, or maybe prioritize self-care by doing a different thing, yoga, going for a walk in the morning. Or maybe you're revisiting an old goal with fresh eyes, like I want to finally take that online course I've been putting off. Heck man, maybe you've even signed up for an online course and it's sitting there right now waiting for you saying, come visit me. You're ready. I'm ready. Let's do this. Once you write down your goal, create one small action step you can take this week. So if your goal is journaling, your action step might be to set out your journal and pen the night before. So it's ready in the morning. It's sitting there going, let's do this. And if your goal is to take an online course, your action step might be to research options and pick one by Friday. So it's like, what kind of online course do I want to take? write them down, and then sit in reflection and figure out which one you want to do and set a time frame to do so. Now, if you have a course and it's waiting for you patiently, your action step would be to pull out your calendar and to figure out when you'll make time to take this course. The key here is to start small. You don't need to tackle your entire goal in one day. Success is built on tiny, consistent steps that add up over time. I'll share a quick story about how amazing things can be when you write down your goal and write down action steps. It took me one action step to move here. Like I said, took forever to really follow my heart. The moment my husband and I decided that yes, we were going to make that move, I wrote down the goal and put 3 action steps under it. That first action step I had was to contact our real estate agent, and everything else just happened. Sometimes it only takes one step to catapult you or to like rocket you into your goal, like right ahead. You never know what tiny step is going to take you to that goal. But when you don't take those steps, you're not going to get any closer to it. So it's writing down small itty bitty actions that you can take and then showing up for that goal. So what's your one goal this month? What's one action step you can take this week? Write it down and trust yourself to follow through. And before we end today, I want to leave you with an affirmation for the week. I honor my growth and purpose, and I trust the journey ahead. I'll say it one more time. I honor my growth and purpose, and I trust the journey ahead. Take a moment to say it out loud or write it down somewhere. You'll see it this week. Let it remind you that your path is unique and every step forward is worth celebrating. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. You can head over to my website at jodymisiak.com for more free self-love tools. And don't forget to share the love. Share this episode with somebody that could use it or that you might need a little pick-me-up or a little direction, a little extra self-love today. And don't forget to tune into next Sunday for another dose of self-love and growth where we're going to be talking about the art of saying yes to your heart. Oh, that feels so good. I can feel it already in my bones that it's going to be awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget you can jump over to my social media on Instagram or Facebook. I'm sharing the affirmations with you there. So if you didn't write it down today or you didn't get it in time, they're all there for you. Thank you again for being here. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so glad you're on this beautiful summer journey with me. Take care and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye for now.